Hi everyone. Just like we had a conversation about what to do with your groceries, there seems to be a lot of confusion and stress around what to do when you bring home food from restaurants or have takeout. So we're going to go through that now. Now the concern around takeout food or delivery of food is that the person bringing you the food or the person that prepared the food might have COVID even if they're asymptomatic. So as I mentioned in the grocery video, you should assume that every surface has COVID on it, and every person, even if they have no symptoms whatsoever, has COVID as well. So the person preparing the food might have COVID, that's a possibility, and you're hopeful that they have passed all the recommendations in terms of licensure, making sure that they are using good hand hygiene, and they're not going to work when they're sick, and maybe even wearing masks. But we can't control that part. What we can control is that the products we bring into the home, whatever containers or wrappers we have, that we clean those as well as we can, dispose of those, and then get to eating our food, maybe even heating them a bit as well, which we'll go through. So just like the grocery video, we're gonna start with a very clean surface. So first you want to clean your own hands, either with soap and water for 20 or 30 seconds, or I'm gonna use some hand sanitizer. And then we are going to clean the surface. And you can do so with any kind of sanitizing product, whether that's, in my case, I'm going to use bleach and water mix, which is 1 gallon of water and 1 cup of bleach. Or you can use a product like these guys that is a ready-made product that you may or may not be able to find right now. We're going to use this just because it's easier to demonstrate. So we are going to take our wipe, sanitizing wipe, and we're going to clean our surface. So just like with grocery shopping, we are going to use a dirty surface and a clean surface. We're going to bring the takeout food into the dirty surface, and we're going to then put it on baking sheets and other containers that we can then put in the oven to ideally remove some of the COVID if there's anything there from somebody having coughed or sneezed into the food. Now, we don't know for sure that COVID-19 lasts or doesn't last in the oven or the microwave. There's some evidence, like we have from previous illnesses like HIV and like H1N1, that heating food for anywhere between 5 and 15 minutes in the oven at 325 degrees or in the microwave for 1 or 2 minutes can kill certain viruses. We don't know yet if that will kill COVID, but to be extra cautious, why not? Hopefully there's no COVID on your food. We're going to remove the packaging and just eat the food inside, of course. And we're going to minimize our exposure and our family's exposure to the external packaging that the delivery man might have touched or the person packaging the food might have touched. And we'll assume that the food hopefully wasn't coughed on or sneezed on. Okay? So we've cleaned our surface. We have our dirty area. We have our clean area. So here is our food. And I've prepared a baking tray to live in our clean surface and some ramekins as well that are clean that we will be putting in the oven. So what do we got? We ordered barbecue tonight. So this is, so again, my hands are clean. I've used hand sanitizer. So we have some cornbread. I'm not going to touch the external container. Now that I've touched the external container, I am considered to be contaminated. I'm going to dump that onto the sheet, which is clean. And now, this is garbage. We have some baked beans. Again, I'm going to assume that the surface has COVID on it. So I'm going to dump it into a clean surface that doesn't have COVID because it's from my house and I washed it. And then I'm going to bake this so that if there's anything lingering, then it'll be killed off. So that is going to go into my clean ramekin. And then this is garbage. Next we have some pulled pork. I'm going to open the package, which again, I'm going to assume is contaminated. This is a burger. And I'm going to toss it into the tray. Next, I have some mac and cheese my kids love. Again, assuming the containers are contaminated, I dump this onto my tray to bake. Some French fries, kids' favorite. Dumped onto the container. Lastly, more fries. I'll save that for after. There's some meat in the other bag. You get the point. But now this one hasn't been touched by my hands in the external container. We dumped it in and now we are gonna bake it. So again, I'm gonna clean my hands because I don't wanna touch the pan and the ramekins with my dirty, potentially exposed hands. Hands are clean. My oven has been preset to 325 degrees and we're gonna put that in for about 15 minutes. Again, this is a bit of a guess at this point. We don't totally know how long COVID will stay on surfaces once they're heated. There's better evidence that heating will kill it off sooner than freezing it. We know that certain viruses like SARS can actually last in the freezer for even a couple of months to years. So I wouldn't assume that putting food from the grocery store or food that you buy as takeout in the fridge will kill it, but rather heating tends to destabilize more easily. So I would go the heating route if you're gonna do anything versus the cold or freezing route. Okay, and again, clean hands, you're gonna toss away the bags and the containers, and now this part is now considered to be cleaner anyway than the containers. We're gonna heat it for 15 minutes, and then we will enjoy that. You could also try the microwave. Again, we don't know exactly how long yet, but probably a minute or two will kill off some of the COVID. Hopefully, as we get more evidence, we're gonna find out more and more about this, and we'll be able to counsel you a little bit better. But that is how I prepare my food that I've gotten from a restaurant, takeout or delivery. The other piece that I should mention is that when the delivery man came, I stayed on the inside. I didn't open my door for him, but rather I gave him the thumbs up and I waved thank you at him. He left the food and then I cleaned my hands and I got the food when he was back in his car. So I'm minimizing my contact, my direct contact with this external person who, even though he looked very healthy, I don't know that he didn't have COVID. So you want to maintain that social physical distancing of about 2 meters or more. So though I waved at him and said thank you as I would, I didn't actually interact with him or shake his hand as I otherwise would have. So I waited for it to be gone, for him to be gone, and then I took my food in. Okay, hopefully that was helpful. Stay healthy and safe, and hopefully we'll get through this sooner rather than later. Be well.